Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday here at the Northwest Houston office at WSB and WFG. And today was on the Titan call. And it was very interesting how I was started thinking. I was thinking about my relationship with my girlfriend and how I've seen her getting more confident and in a bunch of ways. And then I'm listening to them talking about the need to get together with the community, with the company, and then right afterwards, there was the recording of the podcast for Taking Point Leadership, and Brett Gleason and Matt Lenig. Now Matt Lenig was a new guy when I got. He read out of Bud's training when I got out of SEAL training. I was getting out of things. I had like 2 years left, and I knew I was getting out. And this guy we were doing diving, and I've done 100. I did like 385 dives by this time, and I'm watching this guy, and he's kind of loud and um, life of the party personality, right? Really charismatic. But I was watching him, and he had this. He was really had a lot of attention to detail. He's checking for every O-ring and C clamp and neural nut on his rig. I'm like, oh, look at that. You very seldom get those two kind of personalities in one person. Okay, and um, and then of course he was a good Christian guy. And whenever we went anywhere, we tried to find a church service and we'd go. And then I got out, and his second wife worked for me as a loan processor. I taught her how to do loan processing, and then I see him at the SEAL team reunion, and he'd got in a fight at a big nasty. Somebody broke a bottle on his face, and and he was doing kickboxing in Tijuana, and that was the year 2006. I almost got in a fight with Jesse Ventura, and the next day, Chris Kyle decked him, and he was pulling the same stuff with Chris. I Chris was just a little more patient than I was, right? And he was there for that and all that. And then he moves here to Houston, like 7 miles from where I'm living, right? So we have coffee all the time. But they were talking about his progression, and what happened was he got around. Became a warrant officer, and he got around higher level leaders in the community, and you know, ad- adopted some of their mindset and strategy, and that's exactly what these events do. The way we do our training and we are have our meetings, that is what gets people to progress. When you're around the people that are doing it, right, and they're they're out there and they're facing the nose, and they're finding the path, right, and they're getting there. Today on the Titan call, down the whole bunch, a bunch of Spanish speakers, a bunch of people, about 3 people, new people, are new green jackets, right? And I was like, oh, that's way cool. And the lady just left. I was telling her that she did really good, right? And she's encouraging me, and that was awesome, right? Um, there's so much that we can do here that you can't do anywhere else. They're gonna. I was talking to somebody today who was on my team, and they fell away, and they didn't stick around long enough to learn how to do this. And I've seen so much. I've seen people that they don't have time, but they know a ton of people that they need the help. You know, and they just all you got to do is refer them to your leadership, your trainer, and then we find somebody that's got that aptitude, that administrative prowess that you put underneath you, and then you feed them the business. You're going to split the commissions. You're not going to make as much as you would, but you're going to make money and they're going to do everything, right? But that never happened with him, right? But it could, and that's how this works. It's a very flexible system that can work for about anybody. And but you got to pay. You got to plug into it. You got to expose yourself to the atmosphere, to the association, to the information, and you're gonna learn so much more, man. My biggest problem is talking over people's heads, right? Um, but I can talk to just about anybody. There's somebody that did um, had me on a podcast talking about their system for paying off mortgage faster, right? And saving yourself tons in interest, right? And it takes the debt roll up, and by being strategic in your payments, it accelerates it dramatically. That was phenomenal. I think it was awesome. It's called the pill method, right? Um, but I can see how that would fit in with a real estate investor, right? And other strategies that we have that real estate investors like, becoming your own bank, personal banking strategy, the trust strategies that we offer. There's so much, right? But most people never get there, okay, because they don't become students of what we have. Well, I'm a good student and I know a lot, and it's just trying to find those people that want to know it. So I appreciate Taking Point Leadership people for their podcast. I gleaned some information off of that, but it fit with what the message I want to come across today. And it's you got to be around the right people, the people that are successful, the people that are leaders that are doing it. All right, I hope this helps everybody. If it does, please go ahead and share. All right, bye.